Welcome back to the probably final episode in this recording. I just decided it's gonna be the final episode, and I'm going to make it 15 minutes, or a bit more because I keep saying a few things before and after the episode. Anyway, I'm going to drop those nest boxes. So when we last left off, we had the birds moved, and we had nest boxes, and we had forbidden those eggs down here, because we were sure they would hatch eventually. The other less elegant way of preventing the eggs from being picked up by dwarves is actually locking the door. This is, however, not that ideal because it means, for example, if I still had a guinea hen but no guinea cock, locking the door would mean I would, for example, also lose those eggs because I couldn't pick them up in time for a very long time. And yeah, that just doesn't have to be. I'm also going to kill that gander that's still probably bleeding or something. Who is my idle person? You can see the job list here is pretty full. Oh, my miner has nothing to do. Well, that's something we can fix. That's surely something we can fix. And we're going to fix. Um, okay, first I want to have this a bit extended, because that's going to be the stone stockpile. And you can never have enough place in that. At least in the early game. In the end game there is going to be plenty of space there, because you're not going to drown in stones anymore, like we are now. Well, we are still not really drowning in them, but you get the point. We have plenty of them, and that can turn into a problem later on, because at some point your stone stockpiles are full and you don't have anything to. You excavate large rooms and just can't place the darn stones anywhere. And so you can't build because the stones are full, then you have to dump them and reclaim them later on, and it's all turning into quite a mess. Drinking something. Hydrating humanity since pretty much ever. Okay. So, that's also kind of cute. The cats are carrying the remains of slain creatures around. You can see that here. It's carrying it around. Where's my miner? Why is he not, mining things? Because he's sleeping, that lazy bum. Wait, wait, I didn't want that. Okay, so that's how it works. Perfect. Well, almost. Okay, so have technically finished this room now. Also going to create a squad of what? We'll just check the dwarf therapist for a second. Sorry about that, I didn't want to minimize Dwarf Fortress. Apparently perhaps stops recording if you do that. So I wanted to see if any of those dwarfs we got has any military skills. We have a mace dwarf, we have a strand extractor who has nothing else to do, and we have an armor user. Okay. So we're going to create a squad in metal armor, which is still to be constructed, mind you. We'll have the Axe Dwarf being the leader of the squad and the Mace Dwarf being somewhere below. That doesn't really matter. As far as I know, dwarves don't really mind the squad hierarchy. So, yeah. How much time do we have left? 8 minutes. So I'm gonna have to cut this video and the previous video together in order to make the one episode not ridiculously short and the other, well, just less than 15 minutes. You can also see that in autumn the trees turn green, red and yellow. This is kind of nice if you don't have killed them all like I did here. For example, here it looks kind of impressive. I think I'll also want to build a bridge over here, because sometimes migrants just spawn on the wrong side of the map and then you can't do anything about it. So we want that to be built. I want granite blocks. And while we're here, I'll need to see where I can fit in the drawbridge for the fortress entrance. I'm not sure where it's going to go. I suppose I'll place it over here, so... Oh, good, we have migrants. Now I forgot what I wanted to do again. But I wanted to oops, sorry. Yeah. I hate that. Okay. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to see where I can place my channels. I think I'm going to place them here. 3 tiles wide, so we can still let wagons in. And not too close to the fortress itself. So that should be fine. Dwarf therapist. Read the dwarves. Okay, so we got 4 more migrants. We have a Mox dwarf, which is remarkable. Sorry, no pun intended. We have 2 Mox dwarfs, which is even better. We can never have enough of those guys. We have a crossbow maker, which is quite good, also because he is a hammer dwarf. And we have another mace dwarf, and it's actually a quite nice haul, considering what we got here. So we also have another fisher dwarf. I'm not going to go actually fishing, mind you. Oh well, fine, go fishing. I'm not sure what to do with those guys. They have pretty useful skills, at least some of them do. Beekeeping, milling and pressing are not very impressive for us now. Sorry if you consider that a pun, it wasn't. However, it's also a hunter, so it's fine. You can never have enough hunters, especially with langurs around. So I'm going to create another squad, which is going to be an archery squad. The Dimpled Pages. And they shall be led by this guy and have this guy under him. Right now our squads don't do anything. They just exist. They are kind of an informal thing. They exist, but they are of no actual purpose. They don't have any use, any real use. Oh, the retracting bridge? I think I do, yes. I know I could build the famous Dwarven Atom Smasher with the drawbridge, but I don't want to. I'm also going to make sure there's a way out of this hole I'm just creating. Just in case someone falls in, it might be a goblin, but it might very well be one of my dwarves. Plus I want to remove those ramps at some point, so I actually need to have some way to make that accessible. Because if I remove the ramps and my dwarf is still inside, he's going to stay inside until he dies. And probably still after that, because nobody else can get to him. Unless they fall down, and then I'll have 2 dead dwarves in that hole. Anyway, we have things to build. We have rock blocks to build, we have an animal that has grown into a guinea cock. Let's see what we got here. Pet-wise, we got a gosling, we got stray puppies, we got no new stray animals. Those are pets, they follow their owner, and I don't mind that. Although the owner is in the military, so it might actually be better to lock those pets away at some point. Oh my. Okay, so those bridges are still to be built. I'm going to hook them up uh, with a mechanism. Okay, we're killing a fox. The mechanism is good for being able to retract them. So in case, for example, a bunch of goblins and trolls spawns on this part of the map, I'm just going to pull the lever and leave them there. Until I feel confident in my fortress abilities to ward them off, which I will likely not do in a while. So they'll probably be left to rot there. Or maybe I'll dump some cage traps on them. I don't know. Speaking of which, I'm going to need those at some point as well. And we'll see how that turns out. Right now we're getting a steady income of leather and meat. I'm also going to make a subterranean butchery. This should be enough space. We'll see. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we can only go 9 here. I usually have a 11 by 11 butchery, refuse pile. But that should do. That should be okay as well. Okay. Um, Again, I'm leaving this for purely aesthetic reasons. And also, let's end the episode here. And I think I'm going to do one more just so we can get the first caravan in. So I'll see you in a moment.